I'm talking about was.
Okay, darn, now it's 5:01. Okay, I'm gonna call the meeting to order at 5 o'clock. We have a quorum. And our first order of business is the approval of the minutes from the July 11th meeting. And motion now.
Second.
What's going on?
That was just the feed. I had to wait for it to pop up.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments about the minutes that were sent out?
No, hey, Val, since we are, have a split session, can you have Lois do a roll call?
Okay.
Yeah.
Here.
You want a roll call or a vote on the minutes?
Wait, well,
Roll call on the vote.
Say it again, please.
A roll call on the vote?
Okay, Pat.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
and I. Okay, so 5-0. Okay, thank you very. We'll go back to our agenda, and we are up to item number 3, reports. Rudy had asked me privately to flip that with new business and to start with the resolution to approve electronic meeting policy so that he can participate in the meeting. Does anyone object to the change in the agenda? Okay, then, Lois, I believe you have the resolution and something that.
No, that's first. It's in your packet. It's just right behind the.
Yes, a
agenda.
resolution to,
Yes, ma'am.
am I supposed to read it all?
Just the title.
Oh, a resolution to approve a policy permitting the Economic Development Authority of Fluvanna County, Virginia to participate in authority meetings subject to certain conditions pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3708.2.
You want us to read the entire motion?
You do not need to, but then there's a motion and down in the back for whoever so decides to. Or it's at the bottom, just behind. It should be on the back. Did those not print?
No, wait,
You can
I
just
have
hand
many
it off to
copies.
somebody and they can read it.
Here, let me give you all of mine. These are the master copies for you to sign.
okay, okay, ours ends with A and B. Okay, and then on the back. I'm gonna have to pass this around before we do the motion, though.
It's in everybody's packet.
Not the back side. They only printed the front side.
It did. My apologies.
That's what our back side looks like.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I will pass this around. I guess nobody realized it. But here you go. I will pass. That's the proposed change. These guys we have.
Right side.
Right side too.
These are the ones you're gonna sign. So those are the masters, when she does the roll call.
Got it, okay. Thank you.
So this policy, as you guys are reading it, this policy, myself, Rudy, and Lois met with Jim Bowling, the EDA's attorney, to draft. We made a few little edits here and there, but this is the one that the attorney suggested.
We have the discussion page there.
I'd like everyone, has everyone gotten those pages yet?
No.
Okay,
I'm good. I got the email.
Is that, those are the ones that were in the email?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
No changes to it. It was
Okay.
just,
I'm
those are
good.
the hard copies.
I'm good. I'm good. I got the email.
okay. Is there any discussion, any changes?
My only question is a question of clarification, if I can, real quick. When we're in the coronavirus virtual operations mode, and practically all of us during that time was operating in a virtual situation. Does what we're doing, the item that we're approving now, is a departure from that operations?
If I'm understanding your question correctly, yes, this is the new, so before the executive order came out, before COVID, no electronic meetings. During COVID, we were under executive order, so that allowed for electronic meetings.
And want to be by way of.
Correct. When Fluvanna came out of the executive order, or did no longer participated, this is how we become official in allowing for, yes.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
just a further point of clarification. Previous to this year's General Assembly, there was nothing in the code that allowed for this. So this is a response to the addition in the code of being able to allow public committees to meet electronically when they have policy in place. So this is our policy, basically.
Now, this does not allow for the whole committee to meet electronically. You still have to have a quorum of warm bodies, yes, it's physically in the room. So that would allow for a couple to participate, but not the whole.
And
Well-
there's also a limit to the number of meetings that you can attend online.
Depending on the nature of your absence. Yes, so medical is one type and then personal another. Personal is two absences.
25%.
And it's two, and then,
Wait a minute, you corrected me that it was 25% of the number of times that we meet.
I believe it's two.
It says 2 authority meetings or 25% of the meetings held in the calendar year rounded up to the next whole number, whichever is greater.
Right, so that would be if we had additional meetings that we would have, special meetings or whatever, that would, but that would increase your 25%. And then for medical, it could be unlimited disability.
Okay.
Mhm.
I was gonna ask that question.
With the meetings being recorded, is it available online or do we get?
Yes,
Okay.
and they are streamed as well, so
Okay.
you can actually view it on Facebook right now. I
Oh,
think it's Facebook. YouTube, I'm sorry, YouTube.
you do? Okay.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, is there a motion? There is a motion written at the end. Does anyone want to make that motion?
I need the authority to adopt this resolution as its written policy authorizing remote electronic participation. So,
Okay. Lois made the motion, seconded by Ben, and let's do a roll call vote. Yeah. Aye.
Aye. Lois, aye. Yeah.
I,
Aye.
Yeah. Like so.
Okay. And, I will ask you about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. And I will ask you to record your vote. Okay, and the next step, as I recall, is we now need to amend and readopt our bylaws. Correct? To include this in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that was also in your minutes, or I'm sorry, your packet?
You may be missing back pages on that one too.
But that was in.
But
our
it
back
was
sheet.
emailed out a week in advance,
Okay,
so
The government.
A lot of this is mostly housekeeping items that we did review with the attorney as well. And again, most of it again is as housekeeping with regards to when the timing of the annual meeting is. We moved that from June to July to coincide with the new board members coming on after or the new authority members voted on by the Board of Supervisors in their June meetings. So it gives us time for a transition. In addition to that, on page 4, I believe it is, electronic meeting participation, we added a paragraph for electronic meeting participation. We also included on page 7 an election of temporary presiding officer. This is if both Rudy and Valerie are unavailable. It speaks to that language. And then at the very back, rules and regulations. This was another one that we added to forget specifically, Rudy, what Jim said on this one, but I think it allows for the EDA to update their rules and regulations as amended by the code. Is that what it was?
Uh-oh. Can't hear.
Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. So that allows us to not have to make a new resolution if anything that we have covered gets changed by the General Assembly. So we just automatically adjust it, be in compliance with whatever the General Assembly says. Because who knows, maybe someday they'll say you can have electronic meetings all the time.
Okay. So we need to approve this again?
Yes, ma'am.
So another roll call vote,
Yes, ma'am.
Do we motion and roll call?
but I don't see a motion here.
Yeah, I was trying to look at one thing.
Huh.
Can I just say that we motion to
Approve, sorry,
the new-
Betty.
And then read the resolution title.
Okay,
Okay,
this one, okay, I motion to accept this new resolution to amend and readopt bylaws for the Economic Development Authority of Fluvanna County, Virginia.
okay, is
Is
there
that
a second?
acceptable?
And we're in a second. Okay, we need another roll call vote.
Pat, do we have a second? Hi.
Lorraine,
Another conversation.
Conversation before.
conversation then, okay, any other discussion?
Yeah, thank you. Just a quick question, again, for clarification. Section 6.7 talks about appointing a temporary presiding officer. And my question there deals with the quorum again. As we're currently set up, that implies that no one can participate virtually in that arrangement. Because if they do, that would violate the quorum rule. But it
Yeah, you
doesn't say-
still have to have 4 people in person. And this particular section, Ben, applies if Valerie and I both get caught in traffic and we can't be there,
No,
for
I-
example.
Yeah, but it also implies that no one can be virtually connected to the meeting. You have, the other members have to be present in order to conduct the business of the authorities.
No, you could still have to appoint a special presiding officer if you have 1 person online, 4 in person, and Valerie and I are absent. Because you need 4 for a quorum in person, right? And then you could technically have the 5th person online.
And my question is, does that need to be stated in here that virtual or not virtual should be allowed or not allowed?
You know,
You understand what?
I understand what you're asking now, but I'm
Okay.
just leaning on that our legal attorney
Okay.
said that this was good. So,
Yeah, and so just for the record, one of the things that the attorney covered with us was the fact that we want our bylaws to cover the pertinent information, and then we do business as usual unless something comes up and we have to refer back to the bylaws. So we don't have virtual meetings right now. We have in-person meetings. The standard for an in-person meeting is you have to have 4 people in person. That's our quorum, 4 people. So as long as it's a meeting, then this would apply. If it's not a meeting, it's not a meeting, right? Does that make sense, Ben?
Yeah, if we don't have the 4, then it's not a meeting, it's just a gathering.
Yeah.
You don't get- Yeah, okay.
Or it's not, you can't conduct any business, put it that way.
Thank you.
Are we ready to proceed with the vote?
Cat.
Aye.
Lois, aye. Ben, aye. And aye. Valerie, aye.
And if you will, mark down your vote on that in favor? Okay, that's closed meeting. Okay. I gotta get on my feet. In the proper order.
sorry.
That's okay. I seem to have extras from some of them. Oh, I know why. I took the packet that was right here. That's what I did. All these things back there, and I don't know. Okay, now the only thing I'm not certain of is what is Rudy's vote? Is he an absent or an abstain? I think.
I'm
he's
a- I am a nothing now that you, for those 2 votes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can't vote.
Right, but that would make him an absent. Correct?
Not according to
No,
that
he's
amendment.
present, but he can't vote. 'Cause he's-
I can't vote until after those 2 have been voted on, and now I can vote.
We're absent for that vote. All right, got it. Because nothing else applies, and then you're an abstain applies that you're there. Okay. All right. Okay, we are ready to move on. Let me see, they. Now, the agenda does not include, the closed session portion.
Correct, because it's under a separate or a separate piece.
Okay, but okay, then what we want to do next is,
I'll go back to reports. We'll do.
go back to reports.
Yes.
Okay, treasurer, do we have a report?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair. Just, I realize it was sent late, but do you have a copy of that report I sent to the EDA? Group? And as you look for that, I can tell you that there was very little activity over the last 30 days. In fact, the only activity consisted of 2 checks that were presented to the bank, and then 1 deposit of $1.12 in interest. Outside of that, there wasn't. Outside of that, there wasn't any other activity. So I just go ahead and read off the I apologize for not having this hard copy today. I will do that the next time around. So the 2 checks were, 1 check came in on 7/18. That was check number 233, and that was written to the Virginia Department of Treasury in the amount of $500, and that was for the risk insurance, or liability insurance. The second check that came in was check number 233, and that was written to Fluvanna Review in the amount of $950 for advertisements. And then the last entry for the last 30 days has been an interest payment to the account in the amount of $1.12. And the account balance as of today is $25,475.29. is the current balance.
Uh,
And
Madam Chair, if I could have a question of the treasurer, please?
It's probably the same question.
Right, I'm sorry, Loretta has a question first.
Line item number 128. It says 7/18/2020. Should it be 2022?
2022.
Okay, it's wrong on your spreadsheet. So I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Loretta.
Yeah.
Rudy, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Ben, do we have, are we current from all of our bondholders now? Have they all made their payment for 21?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to double check. I thought so, but I just wanted to have it on the record, okay?
No problem. Also, in terms of the other account, which is the opportunity account for 35,000, there have been no changes with that account in the last 30 days.
Okay, and we have not received the money, or we did receive the money from the Board of Supervisors as well, right?
That's in there. It's $1,210.
Okay, 210 of that was the fees that they had accrued, and the 1,000 was what they gave us as their allotment.
Both cases, yes, sir.
Okay, great, thanks. I thought so. I just want to make sure I was clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
any other- Treasurer. Is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Lois,
I don't get to do that very often.
Yes,
Rudy, can you second?
Yeah.
Lois beat you to it. She moved.
Okay, I'll second it.
Thank you.
Cat. Oh, any questions?
Any questions, any discussion?
Are we gonna change that date on? Okay,
So the motion is to
It's
approve
approved.
the treasurer's report as amended.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, with the date.
Yes, no. Do you approve?
oh, yeah. Sorry.
Retta?
Aye.
Lois, Ben?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Rudy.
Aye. Rudy votes aye. And just for the record, for the minutes, Lois, if you would record that I am participating from Buffalo, New York, please. That's
Very
part of
good.
our new rule. Okay, thanks.
Okay, chair's report. Chair, do you want to report?
Sure. So part of this is going to bleed over into Jennifer's report, but Jennifer and I had a very productive meeting talking about some potential opportunities for the EDA to continue to serve the community. And one of those opportunities is partnering with both the Chamber of Commerce and the Economic Development Office to host a series of educational opportunities for our businesses within Fluvanna County. And I'll report that I had a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce today, and they are on board with for this partnership. And the way it's structured right now, pending approval of the EDA, the Economic Development Office will sponsor one of the meetings with sponsorship money up to $250. The Economic Development Authority will sponsor one of the meetings with sponsorship up to $250, and the Chamber will sponsor the third one with up to $250 in sponsorship money. That sponsorship money will be used to defray expenses and advertising of the events. The Chamber has also agreed to take on the responsibility of running all of the payments through their online payment system, since neither the EDA nor the Economic Development Office has that feature in place. And at some point, we're probably going to be using one of our business corner spots to advertise at least one of these events. So that is what's in front of the EDA as far as new business when we get to the new business section. The other piece is in the past, we have participated in the Quad County Business Summit, and we have been asked to participate again in the Quad County Business Summit. And Jennifer, if you would make sure I've got my number right, they're asking for a sponsorship of $200 or $250.
50.
$250. So the total ask outside of the budget process will be $500 when we get to new business. Other than that, we have the opportunity to continue to promote the Quad County pitch contest. So if we reach back out to those folks who participated in the Fluvanna pitch contest, they may be interested in participating in the Quad County pitch contest as well. And I believe that's all I have, Madam Chair.
Ask a question, please.
Yes,
What is the opportunity, what? Does it have a name yet?
It has not been branded yet.
Call it something for me, please.
small business education conferences,
Business, education,
Series.
conference series. There you go, series. That's better.
small business, education series.
And you mentioned three groups, Rudy, the chamber, the EDA, and who was the third?
The Economic Development Office. Jennifer.
You made it sound like I had all these people, Rudy.
The Quad County business is $250 comes from. $250 to three total. No, I've jumped on you. For the Quad County,
Yeah, so Lois, that will be the ask I'll do in new business will be, I'll put a motion up to participate as a sponsor for that amount, 250.
EDA will be a sponsor for 250.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
And then, but you said to the total of 500, the other 250. The chamber,
The other 250 is for the business education series.
see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so we're gonna postpone any action on those two proposals until we get to new business, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. County reports. Any questions for the chair before we move on to the county report? Okay, county, it's all you.
Okay, so we've held two ribbon cuttings, small ribbon cuttings this year, or this, I'm sorry, not this year, we've got multiple this year. But two more in the Zion Crossroad area, Troy area, Center Yourself Holistics and 360 Health and Wellness. So both wellness related. They're up there in the little business park.
The townhouses
Yes, ma'am.
on Richmond Road?
Yes.
Health and wellness, and what was the other one?
Center Yourself Holistics.
Same building as Bump to Baby, right?
So we did Bump the Baby back in June. So two more in there. So that little business park is at capacity right now,
Great.
which is great. I mean, it's got this little incubator thing going. Two businesses also celebrated 5 years in business in Fluvanna. So really excited for that. Sacred Acres Alpaca Farm and Local Eats.
A quick question on the first item regarding the two ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yes.
Is there a segment? Is there a segment in the Savannah area?
Yes.
Is there a piece within that to publicize those kinds of events or highlight those kinds of events for?
Yes,
businesses?
so, yes, so in past, if I get the information ahead of time, I will work to get it in the fan mail so that people can come. But in these cases, I will do it as an announcement that it happened. So,
Oh.
but yes, if I get the information soon enough. Sometimes it just depends. Right now, we don't have a full process in place because the chamber does some, the Fluvanna Business Women in Business do some, and then sometimes my office coordinates. So we're refining that process
Yeah, and that's what I was
so that
asking.
we can invite.
What I was asking, if you would we be able to get like a section embedded inside the fan?
That's a great
Yes,
idea.
so there.
And then every month we
EDA.
try to highlight, in that section says EDA.
Yeah,
If people
yeah.
can hone in on that, maybe
Well-
to highlight certain things like you just mentioned.
There is an economic development section already that has, the office address and the contact information. And then I supply information. So, you'll start seeing the Quad County business pitch there. You'll see obviously the series. So some more of the information I'm going to tell you about. So there is a section, but we just, need to do better at communicating. So I'm working on a marketing plan to be able to communicate a little bit more effectively.
Can it be moved up in the fan mail because it's way down the bottom? as
I know, it's,
And that to me is important news and people will show up.
okay, I'm gonna see if I can, I will ask that
Is
question.
there a way to advertise it somewhere else though that folks who are not getting fan mail can get this information?
So it right now it's in fan mail. I do report to the Board of Supervisors through the county administrators report. It's also, the chamber grabs it and posts it everywhere. I put it on LinkedIn. The Women in Business that also advertises it. So it's out there in the community. So we've got a lot of different chains going. I have looked at starting to do a little business corner recap in the Fluvanna Review.
Right,
Just haven't made that far.
right. The reason I'm thinking about the elderly who really
Sure.
don't get on social media or computers, but they
Sure.
would like to know what's going on in the county.
That's,
Trying to
yes,
figure out another way to,
another way to
yeah.
communicate with them.
Mhm.
That's a good question. That I'll start working on.
Right.
And I'm gonna ask Kelly Harris about that because she communications and fan mail is her thing.
Right,
So she is like really the guru when it comes to that.
because I know a lot of minorities, people don't have access to computers and stuff either, so I'm just trying to figure out how to broaden it a little bit. I mean,
Sure.
some of us get the Fluvanna Review and like some of us don't.
Okay,
Like where I'm in Troy, but I gotta search around to find a Fluvanna Review, so I signed a fan mail, so I'm trying to figure out like people in the lower end of the county, how
right,
they get access to the information.
okay. That's a good question. I'll start working on that. There's a couple different community outlets that I can tap into as well.
Thank you. Nick.
And my question was really a product to EDA newsletter, but that may be a bridge too far. And I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to.
Volunteer.
No, I'm not trying to volunteer, nor am I trying to add more hours. So I'll just kind of leave it at that.
All those in favor?
And then what I sort of envision right quickly is an EDA, but you don't want to do an EDA newspaper if the fan mail is already there.
Yeah.
You just incorporate it into the fan mail.
So Ben, am I hearing you volunteer to set up a Economic Development Authority Facebook page?
Did I get the part? Thank you very much. No, sir, you don't get that.
I swear that's what I heard you say. Could be I might have a bad connection. I'm not sure.
Or
Thank you.
another way, is there a way, to, like, send that information out to some of the major organizations throughout the county? And if we don't have an EDA Facebook, a lot of the churches have Facebook pages that some people get on. That's a way to get information out. Some of the other groups in the county can get that information out to kind of help facilitate that a little bit.
I'll, like I said, I'll have some conversations with our team here to see what another good outlet would be.
I can help with Facebook. You know.
Okay, so
No, this is important. She said that she will do it.
For the EDA.
yes,
Yeah.
she would help. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so Brittany, that's, we have to touch base with with Kelly and make sure that we're following whatever rules we have to follow as far as retention and all that stuff that we have to do because we're a public entity. But I think there's absolutely no reason why we should not have public facing social media for the EDA.
Yeah, but it's also what are other groups within
Right, and
the county government do. You know, the Department of Social Services have a Facebook page, you know, the voter registration has all kinds of information, but, you know, the registrar's office.
right, but that also
What's
gets back to
consistent.
Loretta's point of
Yes,
Facebook and reading it and,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
the seniors and what that. So we'll have some
Okay.
conversation and see what we can come up with. I'll bring you something next month.
fantastic, yes.
Um,
Great.
So I've got a couple more things on my report.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish off with Rudy's report. The first business education series through the Small Business Development Center is kicked off with Rebecca Haydock. She's going to be presenting the Business Plan 101. on August 30th at the library. Networking will begin at 8:30 and the class will begin at 9. That class, she will cover the basics of writing a business plan for your business. And participants will receive a business model canvas, business plan template, and other useful handouts.
And
So,
how long is the class?
I think they're about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And this class will be a segue to, so we're going to alternate these between business education series and marketing your business. So the
Okay.
next one will be social media. I think it's planning your social media strategies with Greg Durazio. Followed by, then we're going to go back to financing your business. So that will be getting into, you've done your business plan, you've got all the materials for that, and you're going to segue to what's next, right? And of course, a lot of the banks want to see your business plan in order to finance you.
Yeah. Hey, Jen, if you and I and Rebecca can talk about titles, we need something that's going to appeal to both startups and existing businesses.
Sure. You're on my list for follow-ups later. So, in addition to that,
The next meeting could, list those two
Yes.
series
Yes.
and I'll incorporate it in the minutes.
yes, ma'am.
What you think?
In addition to that, another good thing that came out of my meeting with Rebecca is Fluvanna will soon be assigned a business advisor. So our plan to have them come to Fluvanna on Thursdays. Right now, we are using the Weaver building on Thursdays for economic development functions. So we have Virginia Career Works, which I'm getting ready to talk about, in there in the morning, and I'm hoping to have the business advisor in there in the afternoon. So small businesses and businesses throughout Fluvanna and job seekers can come and get some of the assistance they need here instead of having to go to Charlottesville. That's another thing that we'll start communicating and we'll push out into the community as well.
So you said they'll be here Thursday afternoon, what, 1 to 4?
I don't even have a name yet. So, but that she has agreed to have us as an assigned business advisor. That will be their first step to getting assistance, and then they would be referred on to a specialist, whatever their need is, like food and beverage, agriculture. So yes, very excited that we'll have somebody here.
And that'll be consistent. We can expect this person every Thursday.
Yes, we're within the boundaries of weather and
Of course.
everything. Moving into that segues me into Virginia Career Works. Fluvanna's mobile resource specialist. She came and presented back to the EDA back in November, December. That was Tracy Sides. She has moved on from Virginia Career Works. So we have a workforce specialist, Stephanie McNamara, who will be filling in until a new replacement is named. She is currently here on Thursdays, so she will be at the Weaver building on Thursdays. Again, we're going to start communicating that. She does both sides, so she helps career pathways for job helps job seekers and do the. So I'm really excited to have
Is she
another.
here all day on Thursdays?
She was last week. This is her second week here. So, but she was here all week last week. So
Okay.
we need to start again, pushing this information out.
And what kind of traffic is she, well, you've only had 1 week. But
Well, so before
what kind
that,
of traffic do we need to sustain in order to?
right. So that's a position, up at, I believe, and then it's gonna move on from there. I think they're working to have it redone.
Okay.
So from there, again, she does go out in the community, so, and it could be that where I have SBDC coming in the afternoon, she can be here in the morning, that's her home, and then get out and meet the communities. I know she's been to MAC and social
Okay.
services a couple times, and she's met with a couple of our other businesses. So maybe the afternoon is her exploration time.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, that's all I've got. And Rudy did touch on this, Quad County Pitch and Quad Tank is October 12th at Shenandoah Crossing. And so when we get to new business and you vote on that, I believe that your sponsorship does have a seat available you know, at the parade. At the thing, at the
What date is that again?
October 12th, I believe it's a Wednesday. Maybe.
And that's at night, or is it
It's during the day.
It's a 9 to 12, Valerie.
Okay. Anything else,
That's
Jennifer?
all I've got. Sorry,
Any
it's a lot.
questions for Jennifer? No, that's fantastic.
Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're lucky to have you. Yes.
Thank you. You make me blush.
He said that.
Okay, we are up to number 6, public comments. There's nobody online that I can see.
There is.
Any public comments? And I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. Can you just introduce yourself?
My name's Alan Davis.
Okay, thank you. So we just have him on our list as a visitor. Okay, then I will close public comments. Unfinished business. I have nothing there on the agenda. Anybody have any unfinished business? Okay, let's move on to new business. And we've done the 2 items already that are on the list.
I could just say,
Sure.
there was no ed tech meeting, so.
Did I skip you?
That's all right.
I'm so sorry.
There's no meeting.
I got so excited over Jennifer's report. I'm so sorry, Lois. There was no ed tech meeting, thank you. So that's why there was no ed tech report.
Yes.
Okay. New business. Rudy had 2 items. One is the Small Business Education Series in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Development Office, and that would cost us $250 to sponsor an event. And this, it sounds like it'll be advertising for the event in the flu review and getting whatever other avenues we can to promote it. And I'm guessing coffee, donuts? No? Okay. So coffee and donuts, is there a maximum number of people? And where are these going to be held? It hasn't been.
So the first one will be at the library. I'm sorry, I didn't finish covering that part of it. I got into the weeds. So the first one will be at the library. The second one, we were thinking one of the fire stations, and then maybe the community center for the next one. So we were planning on moving, traveling roadshow.
Okay. Okay. And there's one other thing that I would like to bring up since we're talking about the Chamber of Commerce and partnering with them. I have been a member of the chamber for a long time. First, for a long time at PBCC, I was on the board. And now that I'm retired, I am not I'm not working, and I stayed a member for a year, but it really doesn't make sense for me to be a member since I don't represent business. I'd be willing, if we're going to have a good relationship or tighter relationship with the chamber, I'd be willing to be the EDA representative to the chamber. If anyone feels it's necessary, if not, Jennifer's doing a great job with that.
But no, Valerie, I think you're absolutely spot on, because I roll off of the chamber board in October. So I think that it's really necessary for us to have a connection with them that meets with them on a regular basis. You can, I can bring that up at our next chamber board meeting, which is going to be the last Monday in August, and add you as an ex officio member of the board. Same as Jennifer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna comment. Don't we already have? Are we paid we pay some sort of fee to the chamber?
Right, but we don't have a seat at the board yet. A seat on the board
You're gonna put me back on the board, Rudy.
as an ex officio member. So anybody from the EDA can participate as a chamber member, because the EDA is a chamber member.
Right. Yeah, this came up, and the reason it popped into my head is because they sent me an announcement, about that I owe dues. But back when Loretta had that event, the small business event at the fair at the high school back in the spring, I think it was March or something. And Ben and I were there and we were just chit chatting and we were representing other businesses. We weren't really representing the EDA. And this would kind of designate somebody to represent the EDA at chamber functions. And no, I
Yeah.
will not. I know that.
So you don't want to be back on the board as an ex officio?
Oh, boy.
It's one meeting, a month. It's on Mondays now.
Mondays.
Yep. Think about it. But I do think that we should have some representation on the board.
Fine. Which Monday?
Fourth Monday.
I can do that.
Okay, for the minutes. You're accepting
Yeah, I'll do
the
that.
ex officio by the chamber board, and Rudy's gonna bring up
And-
the last
right.
Monday.
And he's gonna recommend that I be executed on the board. Okay,
Okay.
that sounds good. Okay. Other new business.
Yes, Madam Chair, I have two pieces of new business I would like to bring to the floor as a motion to vote on. And I can either combine them into one motion or make two. You tell me what you would prefer.
Because they are separate.
So I would make a motion that the Economic Development Authority become a partner sponsor with the Fluvanna Chamber of Commerce and the Fluvanna Economic Development Office for the Business Educational Series, up to $250 in sponsorship for one of those events.
Okay, is there a second?
So
Okay,
you don't mean just one of the events, you mean all of the events, 250.
Now, we will be title sponsor on one of the events.
250.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, and Ben seconded that. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that passes 6-0. Thank you. And your next item that covered,
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, I have a motion to put before the Economic Development Authority that once again, the Economic Development Authority be a sponsor with the Quad County Business Summit to be held on October the 12th. Sponsorship is $250. For that amount of money, we will be able to man a table with any paraphernalia that we have, talking about what the Economic Development Authority means to Fluvanna County.
okay, and is there a second to that motion?
That's it.
Thank you, Loretta. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? Okay, that one passes 6-0 as well. Okay, are there any other new business items?
Jennifer, do we carry the closed meeting into new business or,
It's right behind it, so.
okay. And you can stop recording when we go into closed session as well. Just pause recording.
No, we generally run it, continue to run it. So it'll pause and stop video and mute. So it'll just continue to run.
Okay.
So are you're gonna call in?
Sure, if you want me to. What do you want me to call? What number?
You can call myself,
Okay,
then make sure you mute your computer as well.
okay. We'll
And
go
maybe
ahead and
stop.
do that now.
Rudy, stop your video. All right, so if you can go ahead and read, somebody can go ahead.
Let me ask a question.
He's not here for us.
Patricia, okay, so Patricia Eager and David.
They're for the next meeting.
Oh.
I move that this meeting reconvene in closed meeting for the purposes of, one, pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711. 8.3, discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for public purpose or the disposition of publicly held real property, where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the authority, specifically including property located at Fort Greene Business Park. Number two, pursuant to the Virginia Code Section 2.2-371. 85, discussion concerning the prospective business or industry or the expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the businesses or industry's interest in locating or expanding its facility in the community, specifically concerning project storage.
Is there a second? Thank you, Lois. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
And I'm going to drop off the phone now.
A resolution of certification of the closed meeting of August 8th, 2022, pursuant to section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended. And I can read this. Whereas the Economic Development Authority of Fluvanna County, Virginia has convened a closed meeting in the above date, on the above date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas section 2.23712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this authority that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Economic Development Authority of Fluvanna County, Virginia hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements of Virginia law, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the Economic Development Authority of Fluvanna County, Virginia in the closed meeting. Okay. Of course.
So Valerie, you need a motion and a second.
And that motion is that we're certifying that we held a closed meeting in accordance to the law. Yes, so we need a motion to adopt this certification. Okay, Lois moves. Second,
A second.
Ben seconds. And we have to do a vote. Go ahead, yeah, roll call again.
Yeah, please. Hi, Lois, I, Matt, I, Val.
Aye.
Rudy votes aye.
Okay, and if you could all record your votes. And Rudy, I'll check yours.
Okay, and Jennifer, I'll come by and sign it when I get back from New York.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
That's all we have.
Okay.
Wait a minute, is that the same one? No, give me that one and then I'll send this one.
Okay. Is there any other business?
Can I check you?
Any other business? Okay, then is there a motion to adjourn?
Can we get the date of the next meeting in the minutes, please?
Date of the next meeting is September 12th, 2022 at 5 p.m. at the County Administration Building, Morris. Springs.
Can I ask a question before you? Josh is not here. Did he contact anybody as to why he's not here?
No,
So I do what in the minutes?
he's just not here.
He's absent.
Yeah, but I don't say why.
No.
Okay.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you. Is there a second? A second. Ben and Loretta seconded.
All right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody who wants to say that?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Okay, we are adjourned until September 12th.